Hi everyone, we're gonna try this. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too bouncy. I'm on a folding table for purposes. Anyway, so I have the tracker here, and I really like the way the tracker is like this instead of each on each page, because I can really see where I'm lacking for the month. And then these squares have worked really well with the line underneath for the words. And then I have clockwork and personal broken down for work and personal. And then I've been doing like arms and legs, core, writing down what I've been doing. Meetings on this side, events, and then tasks like reading a book, and then switch menu planner, video, film, posting, filming, Christmas, shopping. These little stamps are really good. So this is a stamp set that I got. I'm not sure if I'll use all of them. Probably 70% of them. There's a few I know I won't use, like sushi. I don't eat sushi and I don't think I ever will. But usually I carry these around, and I got this little clear thing at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree, or $1.25. So I just carry this around with me, so then when I want to stamp in my book I can. So it's going really well. I'm enjoying this setup, so I have it ready for January. One way I'm trying to prep myself for January is to make sure I'm taking time to be out in nature, take time for myself and reflection. The other thing that was asked is about making the books. So usually what I do when I first start out with a composition notebook, let me zoom up. So when I start out with a composition notebook, the first thing I do is I bend back this, take a razor blade, X-Acto knife, and then cut all the bindings. I don't need to cut this one now, so I'm just showing you. And then what I end up with is a stack. So I've already cut down a couple of them. I might end up cutting that down because it's a grid. But I cut down a couple of them, and then I just keep them binder clipped together. And then usually what I do is I count out 7 pages. So I usually go, I don't know why that one's separated. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we'll go 8, 9, 10. I try not to go too much thicker than that because I really like the little thin books, but if you want, I would probably go about 20, but not more than that, which would give you 40 pages. Then I take my scissors and I push down, flip it over, do the same thing. Then I take my little B6 book, line it up, mark and mark. So then I just stick with this blue line here because I know that that's closest. So then I just line up on these paper cutters, spin it around, line up the blue, and then I just see how far we got. So I know it's this one here, so I'll flip it over. might be a little crooked, but we get the point. I'll take the scissors. Trim off the excess. There's my short little book, and I do the same for here. This side's easier because it doesn't have the connection here. So usually what I do is I line it up on the bottom, do a couple swipes, get rid of the excess. And there's only one paper left. Let's see if we can get it to cut it. Sometimes this last one's a little harder to cut because you can't reach it. And I just spin it around. And there's my book. And then I just pick a cardstock piece of paper. Then I just take a piece of cardstock, put it over it, and either stitch it or staple it. And then I have myself a little B6 book. So that's how I made this book here. And this is just a piece of cardstock. And as you can see, it's stapled in the middle. Stapled in the middle, and then I just cover it with stickers. And then this is the work one that I reduced down. So this is about 10 pages. And as you can see, it's actually really good thickness. So I'll find a cover, do some stickers, make another one. Another thing that I did was I had a planner journal dot grid that I bought, and it was A5. So, and some of the pages were used, some of them weren't. So then I cut out all the pages and then took them piece by piece and cut those down to B6. I also cut a full journal down without taking out the pages. When I cut down journals like this one that I got at the Dollar Tree, see, it's just a journal. And then I got this one a long time ago. Whenever I have any that I want to cut down and leave the cover on, that's when it becomes really hard and it takes time, and sometimes they're crooked. But I always think that that's alright. And as you can see, these ones don't quite match up. One's a little bit taller and wider. But this one might still end up having to be shrunk down because you can see that it's a little bit over. But anyway, the way I do this one is I just measure it, and then I take my blade and just go, and keep going all the way down and trying to hold it steady. And that's the easiest way to make books for your planner. I like the Dollar Tree books. They're $1.25, can't beat that. And then cut them down to size. They don't make a lot of B6 or Traveler's Notebook size books at the dollar store, so either I buy the composition notebooks or I buy these kind and cut them down. But overall, my system that I have right now, this system, works really well. it back together. Having journal pages, and then this is work, and then a folder with my stencils, my homemade washi tape board, and my note pages. This works really well. This is a big folder that I just cut down. And then find my halfway point. And I still have an extra cord here. I keep having to re-knot this though. I need to figure out how to. Anyway, and then this system is working really well. I have some other books that I can add to it if I need to. This is ready to go. I changed for January goals, wins, struggles, and then starting my daily journaling, and then personal task, because I don't have any work tasks this week. I'm off. But then if you look at the following week, I've got it ready going work, personal, goals, wins, struggles, start of the day. So I'm going to try and really focus on my goals, and I try to break them down so that I know what I'm doing when, which ones have multiple tasks. So I feel like the system is working, and I'm excited to keep going with it. So I wanted to show you, I had a question from two of the followers, a couple followers, on how I cut down the books. That is the way I do it, either with a razor blade or with my sliding cutter, page cutter. And you have to be okay with imperfections, because your pages are not going to be even. There's a slope here, kind of a slope here, and so it's part of doing handmade. But at the same time, I feel like cutting down these books and making them work is better than just leaving them alone. So, and not using them. So that's how I've been using my planner. That's how I'm doing my journals and making them. And hopefully that gave you some ideas. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye, Muppy.